There are 6 huge YouTube monetization updates for 2026 that you need to know about. A lot of you have not heard about some of these new announcements from YouTube, so we're going to cover this so that you know how to properly monetize your channel going forward. You can take advantage of these 6 new opportunities to make money with YouTube directly. The first big YouTube monetization announcement is creator partnerships. If you've been in the YouTube partner program, you might be familiar with YouTube Brand Connect. This has actually been moved over to creator partnerships and expanded in some huge ways in terms of YouTube using its Google AI tools to match creators to brands and allow brands to research creators based on a variety of different factors. Brands are now going to be able to use YouTube's AI-powered tools in order to connect with creators around shared user data and metrics, not just your subscriber count. So it's actually going to be able to better understand what brand opportunities exist for you and allow those brands to reach out to you directly. This is actually a bigger game changer than a lot of you might think, because there are a lot of brands very interested in directly partnering with YouTubers, but before they just didn't have the direct data access. Now in your YouTube dashboard, you can actually give third-party brands access to some of that analytics data that they need in order to decide that you're a proper fit for them to work with. So this is actually going to be something that's going to help a lot of YouTube partners to make more money and have direct deals. If you end up doing a partnership through YouTube creator partnerships, the other good thing that you may not have heard is that YouTube is actually not going to take a percentage of this from the revenue on your deal. If a brand wants to pay you $10,000, $20,000, you're going to get it directly from your YouTube partner payouts, but it's not going to take a percentage of your revenue. This is actually very similar to what we had with YouTube Brand Connect in the past. I've done a YouTube Brand Connect partnership before for $40,000, and what ended up happening was I got all of that money. I did not have to actually split it with YouTube directly. The next big change for YouTube monetization and the YouTube Partner Program is YouTube Shopping Affiliate. There's actually multiple changes to this that are going to allow you to make more money, especially if you're a small YouTube channel that's in Tier 1 of the YouTube Partner Program. YouTube Shopping Affiliate used to only be available to YouTube partners who had 10,000 subscribers. YouTube Shopping is now available for YouTube partners with 500 subscribers. So if you're very early to the YouTube Partner Program with 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time, you qualify to start earning commissions from products you sell through YouTube Shopping Affiliate. Unlike Amazon affiliate programs like the Amazon Influencer Program, where you get 1 to 8%, a lot of the YouTube Shopping Affiliate partners start you out with commissions at 10, 20, or even 30%. I've even seen commissions over 50% for specific products and brands. And these would be brands that you already know, they're household names. YouTube Shopping Affiliate has a dashboard within YouTube Creator Studio, and you actually get to see the commissions and the percentages and what brands are offering. You can even sort by the ones that pay the most. So this is a tremendous opportunity for anybody in the YouTube product space, tech, beauty, lifestyle, DIY, home improvement. I've actually known a lot of creators that are smaller content creators and YouTube channels that have started earning more from this than they do from their YouTube AdSense. And YouTube Shopping Affiliate is available for YouTube videos, YouTube live streams, and YouTube Shorts. So it is a lucrative monetization opportunity. I would argue that for many of you, this is going to be a lot easier for you to make your first $100 or $1,000 than AdSense, depending on the type of content you make, especially for those of you who are lifestyle channels. Another update to this is the auto tagging feature for products. If there are products that have been mentioned in your back catalog, YouTube and Google will be using their AI tools to detect and scan your videos for products on screen and verbal mentions of products, and they're going to map and tag those with timestamps and then tie those to the ability for you to sell those products. So even without you doing extra work, you're going to be making extra money, real passive income on those existing videos and future videos that you're putting out. When YouTube Shorts first started, the RPMs were extremely low, and this was discouraging for a lot of creators. They were getting between anywhere from a penny all the way up to 10 cents in terms of RPMs. But very recently, we've actually been seeing those RPMs increase and normalizing around 10 cents all the way up to over 50 cents. And so this is something to look forward to. I actually anticipate, based on a lot of what we know, that in the coming years, you will see probably in no less than 2 or 3 years from the time you're watching this video, that RPMs for YouTube Shorts will go up to as much as $1 or more. And this is because a lot of advertisers are finally bringing short form content themselves over to YouTube. Now, this is still a pooled ad revenue source, so it's not directly on your videos or based on the type of videos you're making. What I will say is I've been working with a lot of gaming creators and I've been seeing them normalize somewhere between 10 and 40 cent RPMs. I've heard from channels in other niches, but they all are US channels, so keep that in mind, that they've been seeing anywhere from 30 to 50 cents. I've seen this among lifestyle content creators in niches like sneakers and DIY and other things like vlogging. So I anticipate that overall, YouTube Shorts will only go up in value, not down. We still are in a place where I think that demand is still larger than supply. With that in mind, brand deals coming to YouTube Shorts. You'll be able to use brand deal links in YouTube Shorts. This is something that's going to directly compete with what you've been seeing in TikTok and Instagram. And so brands will be able to partner on YouTube Shorts and you'll be able to get those brand deal links back again. So this is something to absolutely look forward for short form creators. YouTube update number 4 for monetization. This might be the biggest one of all time. YouTube is doing dynamic brand insertions. If you're really interested in this, I could do a dedicated video about this and a dedicated video about YouTube Shopping Affiliate, because these are both a huge deal. But when it comes to dynamic brand insertions, you're finally going to be able to have the opportunity to have ad placements that you can put in after the fact on a video, and also be able to remove those insertions when the term of a brand deal contract is over. So this is for shout out style ad reads rather than dedicated long form videos in terms of advertisements. Essentially, the way it works is, let's say you had a video that unexpectedly did well, but you never had a sponsor for it. It got 50, 100,000 views in its first week. It doesn't have to be that much, but I'm just using an example here. And you were like, gee, I wish I had had a sponsor for that video. You can actually go ahead and, with dynamic brand insertions, sell an ad spot, an ad read that will go into that video as a unique video on your channel that a brand can approve, and you can decide the terms of that agreement, and you can go ahead and have that ad read inserted after the fact. And so this is going to give you a tremendous opportunity in terms of monetization for your back catalog and for you to sell inventory within your channel. This is also going to change content strategy forever, which is why I think doing a dedicated video about this is important. I used to work in marketing and advertising. This is a part of what we call media buying and media selling. So you'll be able to sell blocks of your back catalog and channel if those videos are evergreen, still getting views, still valuable and aligned to a brand. This is going to be a perfect opportunity. So you could do that. You could also look at selling some of those spots in advance. If you know that you're going to make 50 or 100 videos a year, you could decide, okay, I'm going to sell 25 or 50 videos in my catalog for the year. Here are the prices for 30-second ad reads, 15-second ad reads, 60-second ad reads, 90-second ad reads. Here's the placement at the beginning of the video, the middle, or the end, and the price changes based on that, etc., etc. So this is going to be a great way to monetize your channel, probably the most lucrative opportunity YouTube's ever offered. And once again, I've talked to the folks at YouTube directly, and I've had sit downs with YouTube's employees around this. They will not be taking a percentage of your revenue. If I do a dedicated deep dive on this in particular, I will go into all the reasons they don't need to take a percentage of any of our money on these sponsorships, but let's just say that the real money is going to come from the advertisers anyway, and giving them access to be able to be in the pool to compete for these slots. That's where the real money is going to come from. And so we're going to be able to take advantage of that as content creators on our side without worrying about revenue sharing. And this will let us take advantage of our back catalog. This should incentivize more of you to embrace my strategies around evergreen content, because it's going to be so much more valuable than just getting a trending viral video going if you could just sell this back catalog and be able to put ad inserts in. It's essentially free money for videos you've already made on top of ad revenue. For vertical live streams, YouTube has introduced jewels and gifts. Doug Hewson has actually done a deep dive tutorial for how to utilize jewels and gifts on your vertical live streams. If you guys want to check that out, it'll be linked in the description for you. So the basic premise here is that you'll have an in-app currency for people who want to support vertical live streams. This is different than YouTube's super chats and super stickers and super thanks, because you could go ahead and just spend a certain amount of money to buy this currency, these jewels, and then you'll be able to translate that into individual unique digital gifts that you can give to a YouTuber during a stream. This is very similar for any of you who've ever participated in TikTok live streams. It's basically exactly the same thing, or buying bits with Twitch and doing donations that way, if you're familiar with that from live streaming. So this is another lucrative opportunity. Vertical live streaming has been killing it on YouTube for content creators who embrace it. Also, YouTube is now allowing you to do simultaneously horizontal and vertical live streams with one stream key and have a unified chat experience, and people can basically choose their own adventure of what orientation they want. Horizontal and vertical. This is a per device experience. And one of the things I've been talking about when it comes to growing your YouTube channel going forward is that we're not in the 2020 or 2025 era anymore. YouTube is dramatically changing to a device preference platform. There's going to be different preferences for connected television sets, mobile devices. So think about device first context when it comes to your YouTube channel strategy. It'll be really important, but also the monetization opportunities are expanding or changing based on what device consumers are actually using. Another good example of this is our 6th announcement: side-by-side ads that are going to be on the horizontal live streams. So while someone is watching a live stream, there'll be side-by-side advertising. This is going to be huge for those who are live streaming to audiences who watch on big screens, usually connected televisions, so on and so forth, those who watch on desktop. So this is going to be a great opportunity for ads to play kind of in the background without necessarily interrupting a video entirely. So with these display ads, you'll be able to monetize and make more money. Now, as per usual, when it comes to donations with the live streams, there will be a revenue share on that. When it comes to advertising on the live streams, there will be a revenue share on that. Whereas with the brand deals, YouTube is letting you keep all of the money. Same goes for your affiliate commissions with YouTube Shopping. If you have questions about any of these new monetization updates, you can leave them in the comment section. I will be replying to as many of them as possible, so keep those questions coming in. If there's anything you want a dedicated video on, let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, you definitely want to watch my video on the most profitable niches in YouTube so that you can make even more money. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay awesome.